This day's the day, bad luck's always coming my way.
For today's grim adventure, we find ourselves in San Francisco, California, where today we're going to be talking about one of the most controversial secret societies, some even say a cult, in the United States, something known as the Bohemian Club. So let me ask you something. When I said Bohemian Club, did it sound familiar? Did it ring any bells? Well, how about if I say something like Bohemian Grove? Now, if you're a fan of cults and secret societies and conspiracy theories, then Bohemian Grove might sound familiar. You see, up in Northern California for 2 weeks out of the year, the Bohemian Club would get together in the middle of the woods for, well, let's just say nobody really knows what or why they do this, except that the Bohemian Club is an all-men society that is, well, its members are filled with people that have power, like politicians and presidents, and it's crazy. It's beyond crazy.
Now a question. What have Herbert Hoover, Art Linkletter, Jack London, and Richard Nixon all had in common? Well, they've all been members of the exclusive all-male Bohemian Club in California, where every year at this time the elite from around the country get together for 2.5 weeks of fun and games. Steve Shepard has this special assignment report.
More than 2,000 members of San Francisco's exclusive and all-male Bohemian Club have once again descended on Northern California. These men will spend most of the month of July encamped on some 2,700 acres of pristine and privately owned redwood forest. Forest very much like this. The place is called Bohemian Grove, and it's located just 80 miles north of San Francisco. The Grove is the Bohemian Club's summer retreat, and its facilities are hidden beneath lush forest canopy extending south from the banks of Sonoma County's Russian River. For more than a century, the camp has been a place where club members and guests from all across America gather to relax. The retreat is divided into dozens of small camps, the most prominent of which is called Mandalay. Among its members are businessmen like Leonard Firestone and Edgar Kaiser, and political figures like Gerald Ford, Henry Kissinger, William French Smith, and George Shultz. President Reagan, Vice President Bush, and Defense Secretary Weinberger are members of other camps. Richard Nixon is a Bohemian, and so are high-ranking executives of such companies as Eastern Airlines, Standard Oil of Indiana, and Bank of America. For the most part, the men of Bohemian Grove are over 50, highly successful, and, according to many employees, politically conservative.
Well, each year, many of them seem to have a stunt or try to come up with a stunt. Last year, in 1980, the popular button was Free the Fortune 500.
Membership in the Grove is by invitation only and is determined by such factors as social standing, occupation, and personal connections. Privacy is one of the Grove's most cherished virtues. Members may not photograph, record, speak, or write about activities at the retreat. While many public officials are Grove members, the press is a distinctly unwelcome guest.
We're from ABC News.
Well, get back there. Get back there.
Can we talk to somebody in the...
Get back there.
Anyone willing to navigate a boat up the Russian River can get a glimpse of the northern edge of the compound, but that's about all. Still, there are outsiders who have researched the Grove. Sociology professor William Dumhoff found out enough to write a book on the place.
Well, I think it's a playground for the powerful. It's a place where wealthy men from all over the United States gather for 2 weeks to relive summer camp with this ceremony called the Cremation of Care that begins the 2-week encampment where the body of dull care, symbolizing woes and concerns, is burned on an altar in front of a big owl statue.
We're starting this video out in the heart of San Francisco because it is here where the Bohemian Club actually have their headquarters. They've been here for quite some time. And unless you know what to look for, you wouldn't even know that they are here. So the intersection where the Bohemian Club is actually on the corner of Post and Taylor Street. And like I said, unless you know what to look for, you would have no idea that they are here. So we're going to walk down, we're going to show the building, the clubhouse, and show some of the most interesting plaques that people walk by every single day that are on the side of the building. It's nuts. And then there's a bar that has an owl on it. And if you didn't know this, the Bohemian Club, their motto, well, their symbol, their logo, is that of an owl. Now, before we go any further, I want to point out that the intersection of Taylor and Post is actually pretty busy, but that building right there, that giant red brick building, that is the headquarters for the Bohemian Club. Now, before we walk over there, I want to show you what's across the street, kind of catty corner. There's a bar known as the Owl Tree. We're going to be talking about that in just a moment. But this little area right here is shrouded in so much history and mystery, and nobody realizes it. That's one of the entrances right there. See the guy wearing the suit standing at the door? So right now I'm standing with my back to the main entrance because there's a guy in a suit, almost like a security guard or like an usher, and he took my picture when I was standing here looking at a plaque, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. I'm going to show that to you guys in just a moment. But it is bright. Now, baby girl, the plaque that's over here, when it comes to the Bohemian Club, let me go ahead and try to get this shot on. There we go. So there's an owl here, which is the symbol, the logo, if you will, of the Bohemian Club. And the logo says, "Weaving spiders come not here," which is from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Scream. Midsummer Night's Scream. See what I did there? Midsummer's Night Dream. And it basically means leave everything at the door when you come in, like politics, business, leave it all aside. The club started in 1872. And this building, 1933. If I'm not mistaken, this is not the original building. The original building actually burned down. This one was built here in its place. And it's always been here, but it's just a newer building. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that when we go around the corner. I'm actually surprised by the amount of people that have walked inside the building, inside the Bohemian Club, since we've gotten here. We've only been here for like 5 minutes.
And have you noticed that none of them were wearing black jackets, black suits, nothing in black? I have heard before, in television shows and movies, of course, that deal in politics, that it makes you seem unwelcoming to your suitors, like you're too serious or something for voters and that sort of thing. But I fancy a nice black suit. Ooh, Men in Black.
You know what? We're gonna move away from the front entrance to this place because we were there filming and a couple people in suits came out to take a picture of us. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, especially when it comes to the Bohemian Club. But we wanted to point out this. Just like up in the front, there's a plaque here. And like I said, I don't think this was the original building. I think that it originally burned down. And this was actually on the original building. And when they built this in the 30s, they put this on it. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at that. Pretty wild, right? And people just walk by it all day long. Now, baby girl, let's go down to these doors. So there's the front entrance, and then down here towards the back, it looks like auditorium doors. You know, like whenever you go see a play, like in school or somewhere else, like they would open up to an auditorium of some sort. Maybe for some crazy meetings. I say that jokingly, but I know if you're watching this, you're going, wait, some sort of conspiracy, something was going on here.
Maybe it's just a theater.
Maybe it's just a theater. I mean, we know, they've been around for a while, so we know that the place does exist. And everybody always talks about the Bohemian Grove, but nothing about this place, the actual headquarters. So think of it like this. Bohemian Club, which is where we're at right now, this is the clubhouse. Bohemian Grove, that is made famous with all the different conspiracy theories and like their weird rituals. That's like their summer camp. They go out for 2 weeks, they have fun, they get to, you know, be all buddy-buddy, go pee on some trees, dress up, whatever they do. We can't go, you can't go, I've heard that like the waiting list for this thing is insane. Like they have like 3,000 members and there's 3,000 people still waiting to become members. Like $60,000 buy-in. I mean, but you have to be invited. I mean, or maybe we are members
like
already.
Club 33.
Right, of Disney, but like with like a little bit more stranger. Knowing the history of this place and knowing that the logo of the club, if you will, is an owl, you can pretty much see them everywhere. If you see an owl here in San Francisco, chances are it has something to do with the Bohemian Club. Aside from what we just showed you, there's really nothing to see out here. Again, if you didn't know what to look for, you'd have no idea that this place is here. I would try to get inside, at least walk up there and talk to them, but I don't want to be on their radar. We can go up there and peek around. Let's walk up there. Let's walk up and see if they say anything to us. Yeah, he's still standing up there.
This feels like one of those things where you dare somebody to like, you go do it. No, you go do it. No, you go do it. It's like, I'm not doing it. I'm a scaredy cat.
We'll go up together.
I know. Goodbye, cruel world.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello. YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah, we travel the world documenting strange places and unique places, so that's all.
He found a race where no other participants were in it.
We're not,
Have fun.
there's nothing inside the main foyer that we're allowed to look at, is there?
No, yeah, it's private.
Okay, yeah, I figured as much, but it doesn't hurt to ask, so.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
No, thank you.
Well, thanks for asking.
Of course. Baby Goal. While you're up here looking at the lanterns, I was down there talking to the doorman, and he was telling me some very interesting things, but he actually asked me to move on. He said that the manager was telling him that his guests were starting to get a little nervous. I guess they have some sort of function today.
I understand.
Right? That's pretty wild. The doorman was actually really nice, and he said before we left that we had to come up here and take a look at these lanterns. Man, they are gorgeous. There's one on both sides of the door here. One there. And then the second one right over here. They're massive, look at that. No matter how hard you try, Baby Goal, you're not gonna be able to reach it. I know you wanna touch it. Let's go across the street and get a better look at this building. Trying to get this entire building in frame is a little difficult. It is massive, but it is beautiful. Look at this. And you can't really tell from here. We're going to point it out here in just a moment, but there are tons of little filigrees and little owls that you can see on the building itself. We're going to point it out as best as we possibly can. The first one we're going to point out is the doorway above those lanterns. There's another emblem there with an owl that says, "Weaving spiders do not enter here." I don't know how well you can see that. It's a little difficult from this far. And if you look right up here towards the top of the building, above all of the windows, you'll see the face of an owl. Again, the Bohemian Club's motto, well, the logo. I keep saying motto. The motto is "Weaving spiders not enter here." The logo is the owl. Again, like we said, unless you knew what to look for, you would have no idea that they are there. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. The owls, the logo, everything. Now before we leave to head to Bohemian Grove, yes, we're gonna go there. We're not gonna break in, but we are gonna go see how close we can legally get there. Before we leave, we're gonna stop and take a look at that place that's across the street called the Owl Tree. All right, let's get our bearings. Across the street, the red brick building, that is the Bohemian Club. And now knowing that the owl is the Bohemian Club's logo, let's take another look at this place called the Owl Tree, which is across the street. You see it? The Owl Mosaic. Now this place has a very interesting history that kind of coincides with the Bohemian Club. As far as I can tell, the Owl Tree really has no affiliation with the Bohemian Club. It's just somebody who had a bar across the street, wanted to kind of cash in on it. So at one point, the old owner used to have a whole bunch of owls, like little tchotchkes and stuff like that inside here that would pay homage to it. Eventually it was sold, all that stuff was removed, and all that remains is these tile pieces that when you look at them from afar, it's in the shape of an owl. Now, Baby Goal, what were you saying? You were back here behind me a little sad.
It doesn't open till 4.
So we're a little early.
We're very early.
We're gonna be gone by the time it opens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But we have to get out. We have to get out to the Grove. You have the Owl Tree sign once again, and I love that it's on Post Street. Get it? Owl Post. And on this side, the mosaics aren't in the shape of an owl, but you can see some of the owls up there on the ledge to try to scare some birds away. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. And I think that's about it for our time here in downtown San Francisco, the Owl Post, as well as the Bohemian Club. Like I said, from here, we're gonna head out to the Bohemian Grove. We're not gonna trespass, we're not gonna sneak in. I know people have done it in the past. We're going to see how close we can legally get before they tell us to leave, or they kidnap us and this is our last video we ever put out. Wouldn't that be something? All right, let's go. So it looks like our journey to Bohemian Grove has now taken a little bit of a rainy day turn. Right now we're in Occidental, California. It's like this little Bohemian mountain town. And we found a cemetery. It's called Druids Occidental Cemetery. We're not that far from the entrance to Bohemian Grove, but we figured we'd start here, or at least stop here and talk about what we need to talk about before we possibly get encountered with security or stopped by security. Walking up here to the top of the cemetery, Jessica's losing her mind because there's a really bright double rainbow. It's pretty glorious to look at. You ever here by the open crypts, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see both ends of the rainbow. The rainbow actually is inside the cemetery. Both ends.
Look at that.
It's amazing.
Talk about magic, right?
It just started raining again.
In just a few moments, we're going to be leaving the cemetery and heading over to Bohemian Grove. Well, the entrance. Not entirely sure what to expect. We're not sure if there's going to be a security gate or guards or people in suits like down at the headquarters. But we were able to get the GPS coordinates to the road that goes back to the main camp at Bohemian Grove. Now, let me just go ahead and say this. We're not going to trespass. We're not going to sneak on to the property. I know people have done that in the past, whether it was at nighttime or just running through the woods. What we're going to do is try to see how close we can legally get to Bohemian Grove before we get kicked out. Now, baby girl, let's go ahead and say this. If we get to Bohemian Grove and there's a security gate, like a fence or something that says no trespassing that crosses the road into Bohemian Grove, we're gonna call it quits. That's as far as we can legally get. If we get there and we can drive the road into the property, let's go in and see if we can find somebody and ask, how do we get in contact with somebody to get permission to be on property? Make sense? And who knows, maybe in that time from driving on property and encountering someone, we might see something very interesting. Game? Perfect. Driving back to Bohemian Grove, we had to pull over on the side of the road to show you guys something. So what you're looking at right now is the Tesla GPS screen, the computer monitor right here in the dashboard, and you see what it says? Bohemian Grove Owl Statue. We still have a ways to go before we get to the front gates, to the road that goes back there, but that is like the holy grail of Bohemian Grove, being able to see that. If we can, that'd be awesome. If not, just knowing that we're getting this close to it, mind-blowing. It really is something else back here, isn't it, baby girl? Like, if I were to have a secret society, a secret club, I would want it out here in the redwoods.
Not sure how much of a secret this place is when all the roads and areas surrounding it are called Bohemian Highway, Bohemian Road, Bohemian Grove, etc. I think the secret's out. People know.
Yeah, baby girl, I think this is it. 2 yellow signs that says, not a through road. Yeah. You see the lights on down there? Let me go ahead and move that around. Well, that didn't last long. It was almost as if they were expecting us, because as soon as we got here, somebody came out. Oh, they came down the road and they said, turn around, no trespassing. Maybe it was because we were down in San Francisco at the headquarters just yesterday talking about this place, so they sent somebody up here. So this is as close as we can get. As close as anybody can get legally without trespassing on this place. So we can walk up to the line. It's kind of like Area 51, isn't it? Are those frogs? You're tempting fate. So everybody, Jessica has officially entered Area 51, Bohemian Grove. It makes you a little nervous, huh? Yeah. So it does exist, and it is right here. No further than this, though.
It is very pretty here. I can see why anyone would set up some kind of a camp or establishment here. Sucks that it's secret. I would like to visit.
So again, we're not going to trespass. If you know our channel, we don't do things like that. Instead, we want to show what it would be really like if you did things legally. Always ask for permission, unless you're going to be like her and then just tempt fate. Now, again, there have been people that have illegally entered this property, and you do not do that in any way, shape, or form. You know, being on YouTube like this, you can not want to say that we're role models, but you set examples for people. And somebody's going to say, oh, you should have done this. Oh, you shouldn't have done this. Do it legally and have fun.
I touched the butt.
You know what? I will say this, though, because I feel like we're somewhat like advocates for no trespassing. You never know what's going to happen. If you're in a place, especially out in the middle of nowhere, and something happens, I mean, come on, how bad can that be? It can be very bad. Now, there is pictures online of people trespassing on this property. They pretty much parked right where we parked, and then they ran past this tree, up the road, up into the hillside and went back as far as they possibly could. They got some really, really cool footage. I mean, I'm jealous. I want to see it. But 45 years old, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to fine. I like my reputation of actually respecting people's property. And you got leaves. You always got leaves. You can't crunch in these leaves though. They're not crunchy. They're wet and soggy. That's very pretty too though. So we decided to test fate a little bit and walk a little closer to the gate. Kind of up in the woods. This is as far as we're gonna get. Oh, the lights came on, you see it? So they know that we were here. And speaking of, since we've been here, what, 4, 5 cars came out of the gate?
Unmarked cars.
Right? So there definitely is people back there. I don't think we would have gotten very, very far. But like I said, they did come out and they're like, don't even think about it. I think they're expecting us, baby girl.
They were nice.
They were very nice. Everybody's been very nice so far. But this is cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those are motion sensor lights. And with that being said, thank you for joining us on another grim adventure. This time, exploring the world of the Bohemian Club and the notorious Bohemian Grove. Nobody really knows what goes on in there, or back there. Maybe nothing. Maybe it's just like a Boy Scout camp of some sorts for adults where they pee on trees and stuff like that. You never really know. Or it could be something more nefarious. It's a fun word. Till next time, happy Halloween. And oh yeah, no trespassing. Always ask for permission first. But this is as far as you can legally get to Bohemian Grove. Boo.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.